This is Hospitality Huddles, brought to you by Auden Hospitality, the podcast that challenges hoteliers to think differently about F&B to create outlets that guests will love. Every episode, we will speak to the people who are embracing a different mindset to look for opportunities to stand out from the crowd, sharing tips and takeaways to help you get uncomfortable, change your outlook, and see F&B in a whole new way. So let's not wait any longer and dive straight into today's episode. Hello everyone and welcome to Hospitality Huddles. Today I'm in Captive HQ, Support Wizard HQ, to speak to Adam Forman. It's a while since I was here doing this the other way around.
For a bit as well.
I'm sitting in the wrong chair actually.
Do you want to sit in?
No,
We can sit.
sorry. I haven't seen you for a
Does
while.
it feel weird? Does it feel like I should be doing the talking?
It does feel a bit weird. Yeah, it does. Because, should be firing it. All right, let's fire away because we've got quite a bit of stuff to get through today. So the first question we ask everyone is, what does hospitality mean to you?
God, it's a big one.
It is a big
It's a big one. It's a really interesting one actually as well. I'd lots of time to think about that question.
True,
But I think it's all about, for me, it's people and obviously data.
Yeah.
But before going back to early doors, I was a club promoter.
Yeah.
So I was immersed into it, going, meeting people, looking people coming into the events and having conversation with people. I think the main thing about what hospitality is and then what it does is it grounds you. Everyone I've spoken to who's worked in some form of hospitality treats people differently.
Yeah.
Very different. It's so strange how everyone treats people differently who's been in hospitality compared to someone who's been in a corporate job the whole life.
Yeah.
You have that a little bit of, oh, I understand you.
Yeah.
You know? So hospitality is people and connections. And then obviously we could talk about data, but data as well.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know, it's interesting. We were doing some training for a restaurant opening over the weekend in Amsterdam. And we had this conversation and we were talking about how to get over what hospitality looks like with people. And the thing that we just kept coming back to with like the team, and there was some like young guys in there, was like, pretend you're at home, open the door, and it's your best friend stood in front of you. Talk us through what happens next. And like everyone just seems to get it at that point, and you see like smiles coming out. It's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah,
like hospitality.
I think it's really interesting. I think some people are born for it. We had this conversation previously. Is in the UK, is hospitality a career versus all the other countries where it's very much hospitality is a career. And I think if you've chosen hospitality being a career and you're in the hotel environment, everyone I've spoken to when we do these podcasts and stuff. It's when I say your favorite hotel, it's all about that personalization. It is amazing. Some of the guy, Darren Tipjar, was talking about hotel in Thailand like 15 years ago, and he visited back another 5 years later. He came back and they remembered him. Yeah, it was in the PMS. All his likes were there. Yeah, it was, and he goes, it was amazing. He goes, I wish everyone else would learn from it, but I wish other hotels would learn from that. Yeah. It's not hard to do. No, that personalization. But you're right. I think it's a welcoming piece. You go into a hotel or a restaurant, any hospitality venue, you don't feel welcome. Yeah. I spoke to someone the other day that said to me, my wife will just get up and walk out. I said, what do you mean? She'll go in, she'll sit down, and if it's just not the vibe, I said, but we booked a table, and she's like, I don't care. No one's come to see us for 15 minutes. We're obviously not important. He said she gets up and walks out, and then we walk to the next restaurant. I was like, what did you do on Saturday night? And she says, go to find somewhere. That's interesting.
Yeah, I love that. I'm a bit like that. Yeah. I'm a bit like that, you know. I'm a bit stubborn.
You just phone your mates. Like, we're at this place, and the hotel next door. You know, can you sort me out with 6 people? 8 o'clock. Yeah. I'll be there in 3 minutes. Actually, I'm outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, talk about.
Yeah. For Adam, for anyone who doesn't know you, tell a little bit about you, what you're doing. Obviously, the pod is out, so everyone's seen you. Lots of content that's being created, which is pretty cool.
Taking the way forward from you, but. Yeah. So I do a few different things. I've been in hospitality tech for 20 years. 2 decades, not 20 years. That makes me sound old. I do a few different things. One of the main businesses is the tech stack of hospitality. Yeah. Helping on IT, helping on every part of that journey, being that support team behind you. You don't need an IT company that sits in house. You know, somebody who manages it. But we're those hidden people behind, like little mice running around, making sure things are working. And then about 4 years ago, we built Captive. So there was a need for something better. And we happily built something together. And now we are just flying through with the product and just putting most of the resource back into rebuilding.
Yeah.
So rather than a box product that's been out there for years, rebuilding, re-engaging. I went to a client today who said, do you plug into this? And I was like, we don't, but we can. And we never plugged into Klaviyo until 2 weeks ago. And the client was like, we're maybe going into Klaviyo. Can you build it? We did it in like half a day. It was super easy. So nowadays, those feature requests, another client of ours said to us, can you hide that connect to the insert button so we can let clients see the video? So if you're in a hotel and you want to upsell what's going on and there's Christmas and everything else, and you want to you don't want the connect to internet button to come up. And you want like 3 seconds, which is enough. Yeah. Can you pause that? I was like, that's a really good idea. And we built it like in seconds. So now customers can upload that and see it. So it's that and the customer journey, the path, the least path to resistance. So nice, smooth, got a digital agency to build the platform to make the journey nice. We only have to sign in one. Some hotels specifically, we work with the tech team to make sure that session time's open for like 3-4 days. Yeah. It's horrible. You go out for a rest, you go to a hotel, you connect to the Wi-Fi, you go out for a walk, and then you come back and then you're slapped back with this whole page again. It shouldn't be the journey. You should be, even if it's the average time is 2-3 days, leave it open. So we work with the brands to make sure that piece works. The hotel thing's quite interesting because do you do separate for the F&B and do you separate for the hotel? Or do you have one thing when you ask micro survey questions, what brings you here? Yeah. So we had a client recently that did questions to eat, to drink, to stay, to sleep, to party, and it was a drop down. Which is really nice to a little play on words. But basically, I have that, and then the new product I have is called Table Ready, which is basically helping a bolt-on for reservations, helping that piece of helping the no-shows, helping you to convert lost bookings. But we can talk about that, and
we can talk about that in a minute. But one question, this isn't one of the questions that I sent you. One question, why is hotel Wi-Fi so bad? Not a sweeping statement, it's a fact.
Interestingly enough, I'm actually speaking to a hotel group at the moment who are spending a lot of money ripping all the kit out and putting access points and every the little in-wall access points in each room. I think there's been a challenge. It's been hard on money, right? What's important, as in, same thing for you. Why aren't you spending money on F&B to advertising your amazing, what you got in your food and beverage outlet? It's amazing. Shine a light on it, and they just don't. They just leave it there. So I think in over time, customer Wi-Fi has just been left to the side. Okay. The marketing team, it's interesting. In your sector, the sales and marketing director isn't sales and marketing. No. They're just sales. There's nothing. Why is it sales and marketing? They have nothing to do. They might sit on top of marketing. Yeah. But when we go speak to sales and marketing director and we talk about Wi-Fi and the return on investment, and they're like, what does this mean to me? Really weird. I wish they would change the titles, but hotels are stuck in the old school of either just have a generic password, or it be open and the journey isn't nice. So we try to change the way that works. Yeah, make it nice, make the path to entry easier, and as I said, we have seen some nice ones. Another one that we were doing a trial with is really big brand, 3 or 4 massive hotels with like 8 outlets, and they've left the hotel Wi-Fi open, but they've turned on a customer Wi-Fi just for the F&Bs. Interesting. And each F&B has their own. Yeah. And killing it.
Can spread it.
So you can go upstairs, which means the guests can go upstairs, connect to the hotel Wi-Fi, check in, and when they come downstairs, they're still connected. There's no like, oh, it doesn't work. Yeah. But they realise there's lots of people walk-ins, lots of people booking just the F&B, and maybe they'll come and sit, they look at it and go, oh, hold on, that's the Wi-Fi, and that's where I am. Yeah. They won't look at the hotel, they're not interested. But in that hotel, you do you advertise, don't you? You show connect to free Wi-Fi, blah, 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 whatever. So I think there is a shift change happening in regards to the slightly bigger brands that have like multiple F&B outlets. Yeah. We have a client of ours in Scotland called the Grey Gallagher Hotel, Whiskey Hotel, and their Wi-Fi internet's terrible, like terrible, isn't it? They've done so. I think the first month they did 3,500 email addresses for the F&B and the hotel. And we increased their Google reviews, just on Google, from 3.7 to 4.2. Yeah, amazing. Which was massive for them.
Being able to point people over.
Right? Yeah. Because we gate the reviews. Another thing we do is we gate the negative reviews, but then it allows the customer to deal with those reviews. I think the other challenge you have is if somebody books the hotel or the restaurant, you've got that the opt-in rate is 25%.
Yeah.
Even for res is for hotel bookings, it's pretty low. So you don't have that. And then what about all their guests? So I think it is a missing piece. I think that some new hotels are opening in Mayfair, right? Open in Mayfair, brand new hotel, 4 or 5 different outlets. Well, they're just open. There's hundreds of people just walking around, all the different outlets, and then it's just open.
Nothing.
Go find the data. But I think the alt is turning a corner.
I think it has to, doesn't it? Because the whole thing is a thing where you're having to look at marginal gains, and if you're missing an opportunity with people coming in to be able to talk to them, then it doesn't make sense, does it? So, I'm after some nuggets, right, for my my talk in San Antonio. In maybe it'll have been and gone by then. I'll have probably flunked and announced it. So, but I'm after some nuggets.
Yeah.
Because one of the talks I'm doing on the Wednesday, something like that, is on why profiling is more important than ever before. To start profiling, you need data.
Yeah.
So why is guest data so important?
I think one of the things about it is segmenting that data, right? So even if you're looking at what our system does, we ask questions as well. So you can ask what brings you here, or are you? So we are like, if there's a Gulf hotel, you don't want to start messing around with sending data to the wrong people, and that's why they're all afraid.
Yeah,
they're all afraid of, if I send an email to my 7,000 email database just collected, if 40% are never going to come back, they're just going to get pissed off, and why do I have such a low open rate?
Yeah.
So I think segmentation of data is super important. So I think it wouldn't be nice if the hotel PMS platforms had the option to really ask the questions. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe the plugins for the CRMs that work with, like Revenant. So I don't know if it does help you profile that guest.
Yeah.
Because when you check in, you don't want to be asked, oh, by the way, I guess if you're going to super luxury, and they sit down with you and they massage your shoulders and ask you questions of like, what sort of pillars you like, it's different. If you're going for a weekend away, it's not what you expect, is it?
No.
So I think segmenting the data, asking the questions is really important. And E is your way of asking the questions. I mean, how would you ask questions?
Well, I think this is it, isn't it? It's like, that's the opportunities. I think what you lose is if you don't do this, is you're relying on people, and you're relying on people to build profiles, which makes life really difficult, especially in the current market where people are overwhelmed and understaffed and all the rest of it.
How do you make technology work?
Exactly. And that's what I've always said about tech in hospitality, is that it should enable people to be on the floor with the guests. So if you can take out admin bits or things they have to remember about putting in a guide to steak, because you've got POS integration and stuff like that, it just makes it super important, doesn't it? But I think one of the things that stuck out to me about Captive when we've been talking is that whole piece around, traditionally in restaurants, the only data you get is the guy who makes the booking or the girl who makes the booking. But if they have 6 other guests coming with them, that's 6 other opportunities that are leaving the door that aren't being captured, right? And that's where I guess you've got the power of
it's really
bringing people in.
We switched on some other clients recently, and the opt-in rate to like 3 or like 80, 90. That one was crazy. It was Central London, 92%, and that seemed like it. Yeah. Absolutely crazy. And I spoke to an operator today of a group. Sorry, let me get out of the way. There we go. Of a group, and they said that their Wi-Fi data is only 14% of the data they get, and they don't do reservations. How can that be true? There's something wrong with it. It can't work. We had another client who said that 30% of the guests were complaining that it didn't work. So I think there's just bad tech out there, generally, on it. But I think you're right. If you're able to capture additional guest data, the plan is eventually, like the winning piece is, if there's a hotel, on the drop down, what room are you staying in?
Yeah.
Right? Or what restaurant table are you at? If you could do that, because we already have a drop down.
Yeah.
Then you can start adding that customer to the room. Then you know what room they're in. So if you go to, say, your other half books a table, books a hotel, surprise, you connect, you choose a hotel on the journey, and you choose a room number, they're then linked to that profile. So when you call up and say, I want to book, you stayed 2 weeks ago or a month ago in this room, do you want the same one?
Yeah.
Which is so powerful. And you can't currently do that. No one does that at the moment.
Yeah.
I just thought that. So
that's
we do it for restaurants. Trying to link it in, but there's still, you don't know. All you know is who booked the table, who booked it. Yeah. Especially with the OTAs as well.
Yeah.
You don't know emails, so your OTA is just, you're stuffed.
Yeah.
You don't do the email days. You get this random encrypted message you can sort of try and way around it by emailing them like an update of whenever it might be. If you can find out what room number they're in, then you can link that customer to the profile on the PMS. So again, if you go back and book that, I think that's a really interesting, but we've not done that with hotels yet.
I think it's really powerful, isn't it, as well? And I think there's the bit about around if you can segment it as well through clever landing pages where you're going, are you staying with us? Are you not staying with us? Then you can
are
start
you local or are you not
splitting
local,
people. Right? You start getting data back where you can really use that then to get powerful, and maybe you're starting to look at how many local guests we get versus in-house guests and looking at how you can increase the local
treating them differently as well. Fine. And we spoke to those. They're all asking the same question. How do I fix that local to non-local? You couldn't just have a question that you're saying, are you local or are you not? That's it. Like one of our clients is, what country have you come from? Yeah. Because they know they have a couple of hotel CRM platforms and they know roughly where the country's booked from. So they're like, actually, well, most of our clients are in these areas. So let's put, are you from the UK, not from the UK, local, and so on. And they do that, and that's actually managed to help them target. And then I think they in the first month of sending messages out through their CRM platform that's plugged into their PMS, I think the RO was like $7,500.
Yeah.
And that was because they knew the right amount of data. Yeah, they knew who to talk to. Yeah, they knew that. I think this specific CRM platform, they did a search and they said, show me all customers who haven't booked, who book in the next 6 months from which location. Really powerful. And they pulled out that report. So they could see that actually in November, December, they had loads of Americans come in. Yeah. But no locals. So target the locals.
Target them,
right? Yeah. So I think I think there's like 3 that we plug into 2, but we're about to do another one. So for me, there's like Foresight, there's Hotel Cloud, and there's Revenate. And they're the only 3 that I know that do plug into all the PMSs and plug into everything else and really allow you to do more with that data. Yeah. Airship is another one that's pretty good. Allows you to do more stuff with hotels as well. I think the challenge is how do you feed all the data in with sales? So your sales and marketing director wants to see the ROI of the email that you've sent them. Yeah. Well, if you've got MailChimp, how do you do that? Yeah. Well, how do you track it?
That's where 7 Rooms has always been quite powerful as well. If you've got
so as you're sending it, right?
So you can see how many people are then going back and stuff like that. And we always encourage people to really use those automations where you can see how much revenue is brought to be able to...
But that's voting in on in booking the F&B, right? Correct. So I don't think hotels do it enough. In marketing generally. Yeah. Okay, so how does the sales and marketing director wants to know how many people have booked on that message you sent. So you send it through MailChimp, and then you have to sort of hobble through to find out the data. Hold on a sec. I think that this guy's on the database. Mm-hmm. I think the value of that sale is X. Yeah. So you were saying 7 Rooms does a really good job of it, which it does. But that's for F&B, right? Mm-hmm. What about when you're sending an email through the PMS, or not the PMS, but the hotel database? Yeah. How do you track the revenue on that? Mm. But no one really does it. No. So then you sit in a meeting, and loads of people said to me, I sit with marketing directors all the time, and I'm in a meeting, we're a consultant, we're in a meeting, and the guy marketing director's going, we've spent 20K on Google AdWords, and we've done this. And this is how much money we've made, and like the consultant's sitting there, probably something similar to you going, you're lying. Yeah. You're a friend out lying. Yeah. You've spent 20 grand, you've made 5, this isn't working. So I think for your industry, I think a lot needs to change. I also think that the sales and marketing director needs to just be a sales director and not really team too much of marketing. I think hotels have a lot of paperwork and a lot of flow through, and generally in hospitality, to change things is hard, right? I think I spoke to someone else who's doing somewhat the travel lodge, and he said for them to upgrade their till system is going to cost them like 40 million. Mm. So why bother? Just plug in other tech. It can help you, right? Yeah. I think they need to be a shift change into it. If the hotel's got an old system, don't spend 50 grand on put an offline system. Get a printer into the kitchen for ordering in the rooms. Get find out something local. So there's a company we're working with that we're doing some work with. They're in Malta, and he's developed with an order and pay platform. It's really clever. If you're on a if you're on a boat,
Yeah.
you can literally order from 17 different outlets that are all above the marina.
Yeah.
And then they'll go get it for you and drive it to you on the boat. Like,
Pretty cool.
you know, it's stuff like that as well. Like, you know, customers all the time. I went to Hilton about 2 years ago, and the food offering was terrible. So I had to order online. They're not allowed to come to your room, so you have to go downstairs.
Yeah.
You meet the reception. Everyone's staring at you. There must be a better way of doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Get F&B, right?
Better F&B.
Yeah.
But do you know, it's funny. This is a really good point. Like, putting your restaurant hat on here is one of my big beefs with hotels marketing is rooms and F&B are sold and marketed in a very different way. So when you attach systems because someone wants to micromanage everything, it makes it more difficult to be agile. So then guys down the road, independents, blah, blah, they're continually innovating, continually bringing new stuff in, continually adding. Now, I know in a way, hotels, bigger beasts and all the rest of it. But sometimes we miss the simple things because we worried about 200 rooms upstairs and what's going to happen to all of that. But we missed the bit. And then you hear people saying, why is F&B empty? Well, it's empty because we don't get stuff properly. We can't segment it properly. We don't know whether they come from F&B. We were working with a hotel. I might have shared this on the podcast we did together. We worked with one hotel, and they were collecting data from F&B, and it was going into the hotel pot.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden then, they were emailing everyone with the same message, which was generally the hotel message.
Yeah.
So what happened? Everyone just switched off, right?
Yeah.
So
I think you've lost them.
that's the piece, isn't it? Where it's just like urging people to go look at F&B as its own business, look at the hotel side as its own business,
Yeah.
and market them two very different ways, and look at how you can.
So in the past, we worked with did a big old project in Soho Hotel.
Yeah.
With F&B, and the owner was always saying it's a drain. F&B is a drain. There's no foresight. They did a joint venture once, and it was flying. Literally never seen like it. Hotel was like, this restaurant was absolutely super busy. JV with a different brand, where it was hard.
Yeah.
If you're looking at like a country hotel, they're in the middle of nowhere. You know, they need someone like you. Well, someone like you. They need someone to come in with fresh eyes and go, this isn't clearly working.
Yeah.
You know, change that brand. There's one people we work with, do something you do as well as restaurant consultants. You need someone external to come in and go, this isn't working. Like your local pub grub in a beautiful hotel isn't working. You change it. There's a hotel near where I live called the Edinburgh Hotel. No, it was called Edinburgh Hotel. It's called something else now. The grounds are just beautiful. Like you can see all over London. It's super up high. You go in and the floor in the restaurant area is like 40-year-old carpet.
Yeah.
And the chef, they've got a new chef now. Food's really nice, but I wouldn't bring friends there. They'd be looking and going, "Why are we here?" Like it's literally a 4-minute walk from my house. It's beautiful.
Yes.
You know, and friends that come out of country to come stay, we tell them to go there, and then I'll either pay to get them in that road or whatever. And the service is amazing in the hotel.
Yeah.
But this beautiful, like they do this afternoon tea thing. We're sitting there in the dining room, and there's 7 people having afternoon tea while we're eating dinner. They're having like a late afternoon tea. It's super weird.
Yeah.
There's just no, and it's owned by some investment group now. It's beautiful. Like it's like the Georgian style. Like you would look at it and go, I could do so much with that. And we spoke to the manager a while ago. I was like, I love this place. If you just looked at it, if you just redid the carpet and maybe changed the chairs, I'd be here once a month. Easy. I mean, I would walk there and walk around the grounds in the summer and sit outside and have a drink. It's, you know, there's so much more, but there's just no. What do you do?
So so one of the things I guess I'm sure you get told a lot of the time when you come with Captive is we don't want people to do that horrible sign-in thing and all the rest of it, right? It must come up all the time because I hear it when I talk to people about it. Like, how do you get over that with people? And then also, I guess, you've managed to optimize what that looks like even more. So not only have you got over that hurdle, but then you've managed to optimize it to increase opt-ins and things to some of the stats you were saying.
We spent a lot of time speaking to people.
Okay.
I think the main thing, the first phone that we had was from a shared customer that we have called By Chloe.
Yeah.
The first vegan brand in the UK that we worked together, actually, interesting enough. And they're no longer here. And when we started this journey, I needed to find something. We were reselling a product. That product just stopped working, and the support wasn't very good. I'm not a developer, but I knocked something together that's up here and here and there.
Yeah.
Right. So the first form was the form that by Chloe in the US sent me. You have to use this design because it's proven, right? And it was terrible, but you know what? It was a form, and it worked. And it was name, surname, email address, tick for terms and conditions, tick for marketing. Opt-in rate 14%, 1-4. So we started with that. It's just like, let's get something in. This is 4 years ago now. Once that was in, and we had like 40, our current customers, 40, 50 customers using it, they were just happy to get data. They didn't really care. We pummeled all our money in, and we asked questions. All right, how does it work for you? Like, what do you like on forms and stuff? Like, hotel stuff and all these boxes is just horrible. Like, I literally have like a tick when I go to a hotel, like Ferndale down the road from here. Yeah, beautiful hotel. Have this chunky box with like, are you staying at the hotel? Are you not staying at the hotel? Fill in all your information, and then after like 15 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, you're in, right? I get emails from all the from people I work with who are traveling, and it's like, I've just paid $5. It took me 15 minutes to get through the process. I'm literally so angry right now that it's just killing me. So we spent a lot of time asking the questions, and the main question was, the main answer was, it needs to look better, the flow needs to be better, and we took inspiration from Typeform. I don't think they ever received a Typeform before, but when you receive it, and even Chris Fletcher says as well, when he gives people a Typeform form, the amount of data, increased data that comes in it is probably 60% more.
Interesting.
So the mentality of having a form that, rather than having that one page, right? Because I don't know if you ever get like a contract form, whatever. I sigh. I mean, you probably just say, we have onboarding for our onboarding for clients on the IT side. We do the same thing, Typeform, and it basically you can customize it. So it says, you know, what's your name, and they go, hi Adam, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to ask you a few more questions. Who's best people to speak to accounts, and it gets stored out, and then it pops into whatever. So the journey we built is that there's two, obviously, well, three now. There's two. The main journey is email address, name, surname, and then date of birth, or no date of birth because hotels don't really care. So just name, email address, name, surname, and connect. So there's three stages, but the mentality is, okay, it's just asking my email address. Oh, name or my name. Oh, okay, this isn't too bad. And then the flow. So that flow we've done. I mean, there's you can add more stuff to it, like question, and whatever else. So I think that flow, and then also there's no tick box for marketing. It's just a really nice little pop-up that comes up and says, do you want to accept or deny, right? And on that you can customize it. So if you want to say, we'd love to enroll you to a loyalty program, whatever it might be, but the connect button's a big black button, and the decline button's a little grey button on the left, and your eyes are immediately drawn. So the research we did was make it easier. Don't have these clunky boxes, and make it in brand. You don't want to see powered by X. I don't want I love my brand. I don't want my logo all over the shop. Powered by X, powered by Y, managed by X. Like, who wants that?
It means nothing to the customer, right?
Right? And they don't care. No. But the brand, if it's a hotel or a restaurant, when it's for Chatamate, for example, they've got a slick video on it. You as soon as you connect, you get this guy flaring. You get the guy on the Robata grill. We did Zoomer in Cannes, and they curated a video just for the Wi-Fi.
Nice.
So literally, you see on mobile, you see like the sea, the seagulls, the cocktails, the sushi. You know where you are. It's very in brand, and we've now even allowed you to change the color scheme. The connect. You can change every part of that journey to be in keeping to your brand, and that's a really big. And that's I think why it works. We've actually gone head to head recently with a restaurant group in Mayfair, and our opt-in rate was higher, which was nice to see. And she shared the original design, and I shared our design, and it was like chalk and cheese. I mean, literally, she was like, I don't need it worked. She goes, it's great. Functionality, it worked fine. Opt-in rate was okay. He goes, but you just outperformed it out the way. So it's actually really nice to hear. I don't often hear that. We don't have a head-to-head. Usually they're changing or they're moving. Other piece as well is no contract, right? Everyone else locked you into contracts. 12 months, 36 months, pay this, pay that. No contracts. Monthly. We have hotels in America, just outside Maine, and they're busy half of the year. They're dead. If they go in the system, they press pause, not charged.
I
don't care.
No. That's one of my issues with hospitality tech. They're always they all try and lock you in.
We're close. Yeah, 3 years. 3 years lockdown.
Fucking hell, what's going to happen in 3 years' time? Like,
But realistically, if you think about it, are they really going to do you? I mean, for hospitality, maybe just out for 10 years, and they will because they have the money to it. But realistically, will you get sued by a hospitality tech company that's charging you £100 a month for 3, and you're locked in for 3 years? You tell them to be like, there's no point, and you've probably seen this too. If you haven't got a good relationship with that customer, there's no point in having a relationship.
Yeah.
And we're very much like, be in contact, be present, be contactable. On our website, there's a contact link, book a meeting.
Yeah.
Any of my clients, anytime they want to, they can book a meeting in. I had a podcast booking in. I sent them out a link, and he's like, "You're being very open with your diary." I said, "That's my diary." I said, "Come whenever you're ready, whenever you want." And for the captive thing, we just do 15 minutes. I always go over 15 minutes, but the 15 minutes thing is quite good in their mentality because they think, okay, it's only going to be 15 minutes. Yeah. But there's always more questions. So people can go on my website and book in a meeting right now, straight away. They can book a meeting, they can click in, and so on. So that piece of being present is really important. But any SaaS platform out there should have no contract, unless maybe if you're a till system, you're wrapping in that cost of hardware. But why lock someone down if they don't like it? You'll end up having them moaning about you to everyone.
This is the thing, right? Do you know? No. I'm going to rant with you on this one because I agree with you, and I think I've shared it on stuff before. But one of the things that changed my perception of contracts in the past is I was listening to the founder of Woo. I think it was on Stephen Bartlett, and he was talking about how the shift change in Woo came when they went from a contract to a monthly subscription that people could cancel anytime. And he said the reason why is when you have a platform that someone can cancel at any point, you always have to be delivering value. So your mindset is about innovation rather than the fact that it's like, well, we know we've got $100 million locked in for 12 months. No, that's fine. As we get towards the end of the year, we'll just look at how we can get more people in. It's like when you know anyone at any point could switch off, it's like literally all your time is spent on experience and what you're doing for the consumer. And it massively changed my my opinion.
Where's your wig?
And I don't. I'm too tight to buy it. It's like £200 or something, and then
you can get a refurb one then, can't you?
Then you pay monthly, right?
Yeah.
And I'm already.
It's only their contract, as you said.
Yeah, but I'm already. I don't know, like my wife, like Podcastle and all these Chat GPTs and all the rest. If I do another subscription, she'll kill me.
Yeah.
But when you were talking, that's what came to my mind. Is what you essentially said was normally you have this functional tick box exercise where people don't pay attention because all they want to do is get on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Personalize it, right? Or you like make it human, and then you look at experience or the user experience over the functionality of getting someone online, and it completely changes your mindset of what that landing page should look like. So when you have Zoomer, we're creating a video that goes when someone logs in on Wi-Fi, we're gonna just hit them.
Yeah.
It's like
but they really get it. Like it's. For 25 years and never collected any data.
Yeah.
25 years of nothing. Zoomer nothing. Zoomer Rocker, Incognito, all the brands never collected data for 25 years. And now they're probably one of the they are. I mean, I've never seen it. We just rolled out US, so very interested to see the difference of. We've got 50 customers in America across different places, and Chotomati in there as well. Some in Canada, but I'm really interested to see on the high-end restaurants. We've got Vegas, Boston, Miami. I think it's Miami, New York. I really want to see what the uptake is because the mentality in the US, and you have US people, so it's really interesting. We are finding now that more people are coming to us, going, people are connecting to the Wi-Fi. I spoke to someone the other day in the US. It was like I pay $160 for unlimited data and an iPhone. And now the other guy was like, I only pay $60, and he whipped out his iPhone 5. He's like, I'm not great, I can't afford it. To get an iPhone tariff with a new iPhone, because they don't really mix the tariffs together. You buy the phone, and Apple do their thing. So you have to pay the Apple, and you have to pay whatever. So they're like, more people are just keeping not unlimited, getting the new phone, going for 20 gig of data, and now connected to the Wi-Fi everywhere. When we speak to people in the US, the mentality is, I'm not a coffee shop, I'm not a hotel, why don't we need it?
Yeah.
And then we say, cool, what's the Wi-Fi signal like at the back of the restaurant or upstairs or downstairs? It's terrible. It is terrible. Like our tills just about like our tills work because they got Wi-Fi. Our Wi-Fi is great, and the phone signal. I mean, oh my god, the chefs are going crazy, and I'm like, I'm waiting for the bing, and nothing. I was like, so if we turn on this service, people will connect and you'll collect data. Yeah, but again, we're not a coffee shop, so why don't we want it? And just said it's changing. More people are signing up. More people are realizing now, and I find it really strange. Well, not really strange, but the QSRs in the US, the bigger ones with the more footfall, right? They are now getting the casual dining family meals out at the QSRs. So like the Taco Bell style places and the burrito style places that have got the larger footfall because there's more space in the US. They're not going to their usual casual dining brand. They're going to the QSR because one, it's cost effective. Two, they still get a family meal out. So now they're realizing, well, hold on, we need to start capturing this data. There's no loyalty, there's no Wi-Fi. So they are more switched on than a casual dining brand. So it's really interesting on that point. If you're in rural areas, obviously you want to connect with other people. So we're trying to change what America thinks of. When you're going out there, to be fair, so you can
going out there.
And it's interesting to see what people think. Like, what do you think of it? Like, why do you, why would you use it?
Yeah, Well, this is why one of the talks was on that when we were discussing it with the organisers. That we like about the profiling and how can you help? Like generate your own revenue, and that's when it was like, let's look at that profiling because still people don't do it well enough. Like you can tell when you're talking to so when I talk to 7 Rooms, like you can tell like the EPOS thing's almost like a bolt on. It's like a nice to have. I'd be selling that as a must have.
100%.
Right, and I think that's the difference, isn't it?
Like all this and written data, what they're spending, it's just what it should be a given. Especially with technology now, Toast have it already. Lightscale have it already. Most people have the line item data going into 7 Rooms.
Exactly.
I mean, you know what they're spending. You know who your high speed customers are. This is goldmine data. Imagine, so we switch on a customer, we sync it to 7 Rooms as well. They never did customer Wi-Fi again. Brighton's Haymarket, really big brand. 7,500 emails a month they do. Super high turnover in there. And we sync that data in 7 Rooms. So, and then we tag it as Wi-Fi. So they use 7 Rooms for their CRM. 7 Rooms CRM is pretty nice. It's getting better. They're adding more features into it, which is awesome. And I'm a bit of a champion of that platform because you could do so much with it. And it lets you send that email. I did a booking at a restaurant, I think Duck and Rice out in Soho. They have 7 Rooms. So got the VIP link, which made me feel a bit like brilliant. I love that. And they have and then I can click on it. It's got all my data in it. It's all there. But these guys are using it all for the CRM as well. They have a separate CRM too. For retail stuff. But they're using 7 Rooms. And all it is flying in. So we did feedback. So one of the things we were looking at doing was to see if the customers book, because it's in double feedback, do you? We were talking about to seeing if the customers book the table, don't send feedback to the booker, but send feedback to all the others on it. Because how do you get feedback? How do you do it? But yeah, I think it is really interesting on how you segment that data, your additional guests. I was talking to somebody the other day who was like, if a walk-in comes in, have banter with them, have a conversation with them and say, oh, have you been here before? No, let me just put you on the system. Just that one piece is so powerful. And don't worry, I've opt in. I just want to put you on the system. So next time you come, I've got all, we know who you are. Then you link them to the how much I've spent. Then when they call back to give them the surprise, and they're like, don't worry about the marketing piece. Because as you said, it's that recognizing piece that sort of hotels are doing, the high end hotels are doing, but that others aren't. And I think that's a really important piece.
It is. Do you know, it's funny. 2012, when I was at the Dorchester Collection, we were at Cowth Park. That's what we had there.
You're married at Cowth Park.
I got married at
I remember. See, I remember from my podcast.
It was cool. So we could see all the guests in 45 Pratt Lane, the Dorchester and Cowth. So if we ever got a guest come in who'd stayed at the Dorchester, in fact, I think we could see everything there, but we could reference it. And we could talk about what they liked and what they didn't like. And when you look at it today and you think people still aren't getting that, it's like
people talking about then.
Oh no, Agilicis, Infogenesis, Infogenesis, and I think we use Res Diary, something like that. So Now before we came on, we were talking about Table Ready. And one of the statements that you said is we need to learn more from retail tech than hospitality tech. So tell us about the next project you've got in the wings and why retail tech is so different.
Well, listen, if you think about putting retail tech into I know I keep going back into the hotel side, but if you imagine you were to go into a Nike store and you put your Air Force Ones in the basket, an hour later you get an email from Nike saying, "Do you still want your Air Force Ones?" That technology, the club card technology, the loyalty piece, all that information, all that stuff from retail is still not in hospitality. If you want to go book a restaurant or a hotel, and you start with that journey, the widgets have been doing the same thing for 20 years. Mm-hmm. It's so old school. Mm-hmm. There's no way. It's all old. It's all very much archaic. It's either restaurant, daytime covers, hotels, day of stay, how many people, search, how many kids. Why not flip the script? Why not? People don't mind that. So, or here, they don't mind putting the data in. Why not say name, email address for hotels or restaurants, name, email address, phone number, and then daytime covers. When you have that information, that allows you to do what retail does with the basket recovery. Yeah. So we were asked about a year and a half ago to say, we have a booking widget that's really bad. The rest company wants us to change it to the newer one. I don't like the newer one. The older one is 10 years old. It just fits. I'm not changing it. And they keep having an argument. Adam, can you build us like a widget? And that was just the original part of the journey. We then spoke to another customer that we have on the captive. And I was talking to him about this project. And he said, I'm going to share you a document. Now, this document, we poured out 7 rooms, all of our data. We sent it to a data company. We spent a lot of money, and they basically gave it back to us. And it turned out that last August, this restaurant group lost 60% of their bookings in August last year. I was like, my mouth was just, I literally couldn't close my mouth. So I said to him, no, this can't be true. He goes, we lost across all our restaurants 60%. So then there was this
pre-book. So someone's
they tried to book.
Okay.
So this is people who wanted to book.
Yeah.
On that journey, because you don't get tracking, do you?
No.
They won't give it to you unless you pay for it.
Okay.
So you can pull. There's no way of pulling this data out unless you want to go right. Give me the logs. Give me the raw logs. You pay the 7 rooms. They give you the raw logs, and then you go to a data company and go, I have no idea what this means. Make it look better for me. So 60% of people started to book that journey, and then just dropped off at one point. They can't find out when, they don't know, but they know that they started. They know they clicked the button, then they started to fill date time covers in, and then left. So 30% is very much last minute. Friday, Saturday night, guarantee you.
Yeah.
But if you can recover 20 to 30% of bookings, that's like, I said to the client, I said, if I can recover those bookings for you, what's that worth? He goes, 20 grand a month. Like, we're high end. He goes, I mean, we would pay for it. So then we were like, well, hold on. This customer wants me to build a widget. This customer wants me to help with bringing those lost bookings. Why don't you marry them together? So we built this really nice WordPress at the moment, Shopify style widget. You click on book now on your menu, slides into the web, doesn't leave the website. There's no horrible JavaScript pop-up box anywhere. And it slides in from the side, and you've got book now. So we do like up to 6 or 8 book, and then you can have other buttons like for group bookings, for hotel bookings, for events. You can add whatever buttons you want, and social links. If you click the button and you type in Scot Turner, phone number, email address, and then you just leave the page, I've already got your data. I already store all that information. Time of session, customer data. I know that you tried to book. You were looking to book at 7 p.m. for 4 people because you'd already clicked that. So I'm saving that journey. Even if you go from that screen to the next screen where the time wasn't available, I know I'm tracking each part of that journey. Yeah. Everyone I speak to in digital marketing are all like, we're trying our best to track that data. How do I know that when I send a Google ad to the out, or I do a meta ad, how do I track it that specific record is tracked from that reservation? Now, some of them are working-ish. Yeah. Half of them is showing it. How can they go to the business and go, well, you spent 10K on adverts. This is the ROI. Yeah. We can fully track it. So we can track it all the way through. So you start booking, and what do I do an hour later? Hi, Scott. You tried to book a table for 4 people at 7 p.m. on Thursday. Did you forget? I think you might have forgotten. Click link below, and we can click your booking. Takes you to a page, custom branded with the customer's details. All your data's already in there. All you have to do is click confirm. I brought the reservation, but how many times have you booked it? I keep telling everyone, because I'm not the worst. your missus says to you, we're going on a Saturday night. There's 5 of us. It's your mate's birthday. Can you book that table? You go, yeah. You do a podcast, you do a phone call, you got another phone call, take the dog for a walk. Completely forgotten. It slipped your mind. And then you're like, other half say, did you book that table? No, they were fully booked. But I booked the other restaurant. It's bad. You know what? We wanted that restaurant. Yeah, they were fully. You forgot, didn't you? So, okay, on the couch. So this is to help most people who forget booking. But it's that basket recovery piece. To bring that in. But the other piece that we've just recently done is all the CRMs at the moment do a daily sync. You don't know the live data from it. So bring hotel tech in, because hotel tech does this, the pre and post stay. No one does it in restaurants because all the CRM are out there do like a daily dump. All the information's come in, this got cancelled and so on. We're getting live data coming into our platform. So we know if a customer's booked a table, if a customer's walked in and been added into the system, we know if the PMS has been booked a table. Fairly enough, one of our clients is putting XXX on the email so that the res platform doesn't email them. So we're trying to find a way of putting that in as well. So we know when they're booking, when they're booked, when they've been seated, when they've been partially seated, when the table is completed, and it's all this live data coming through. So I spoke to a marketer yesterday, and he said, "Are you telling me that I can send a post sit-down message to them, or contact a customer, or even maybe push a notification into a wallet or an app, whatever it might be, and say, hey, thanks so much for coming. This is your 5th stay. Here's a dessert on us." Do you know what I mean? And these are the things that are really exciting, because the one piece that we do, rather than using our widget, you don't have to use our widget. You could just use that one piece. Data flows in and do what you want with it. Whether it goes into Salesforce, whether it goes into CRM and Airship, and you want to trigger a message to someone, you want to send an SMS to whoever you want. It's all about that live data. So we're already putting in data from 2 first platforms. Third one's nearly done. So the one piece is trying to help you, and then we get the special requests. We get the allergens. So we're working on GDPR at the moment to find out what we're allowed to do with allergens. Special requests is easy because I've got a dog and please can you X, Y, and Z. That goes into the field. Currently, all the platforms out there, all they give you is Scot booked a table for 2 on Thursday. That's it. Some of them don't even know if you cancelled. They just say Scot booked table 2 on Thursday. It goes in as a visit. Yeah. Nothing else. But if the CRM if the Res platform has the POS integration, we can pull out the line item data as well. So often you find that CRM platforms don't have that data. They get all they get is Scot booked table for 2. So if you're pulling in other data like the line item data, and we're working on some POS integrations too, so that we can then actually go, that table was completed. We know it's that table. Pull the sales data out of the POS. Not that I'm doing lots of POS integrations, just probably 2, and then help you flow the data into your CRM. So it's we're in like alpha at the moment. Yeah. We have data coming in from one res platform going into a CRM, and it's enriching that data already. So they were like, we've got this CRM loyalty platform. It's working really well. But we've got no res. So the Wi-Fi goes in, that's captive, that's easy. Wi-Fi's going in, it's tracking the visitors, taking all the automation, it's fine. But they were like, we also want res, but they don't work with that res partner. Well, we can help you. So we sort of said we want to be like the director of res. Yeah. Just the behind the scenes, let me flow the data into the right place. Yeah. So far, it's I've been given a budget from my co-director, who's also my wife, and she's like, you can spend X. I asked for more, but I only got to it. We bartered, right? We didn't. She won. She'd always win. I wouldn't have a business without her. Behind every strong man, there's a more powerful woman running the show. So I'm the smiley face of the brand. So she's like, okay, you're nearly there. So we are nearly at like, I need clients. So we've already got like 160 people on the wait list from just, I put the having website, tableready.io is the website. And we want to try and enrich the data. So and then imagine what we can do with captive. Yeah. So if we've got res plugins,
you can say the whole journey.
I know what table I can know what the table's saying. Yeah. So I now know that Scott and his 4 other people, because they've chosen the table number on the Wi-Fi, I've added to that table. So in our platform, you can then see who's at what table and then what the average spend is on that customer. Yeah. Which isn't possible right now. They're all trying to do it. They're all trying to do it.
Tables produce the best average check. You can get really geeky, right?
To be fair, even if you've got online ordering, you could probably find out who spent what. Yeah. But for the moment, it's all about enriching the data.
Yeah.
That's the main piece of it, enriching the data, live updates. If you could get a WhatsApp message or an email or a text message or whatever it might be and say, here's your 5th visit. Show this to the waiter. Show the waiter QR code and then comes back with a bottle of champagne.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
That's that granular data.
Yeah.
So, and could they go into PMS systems? We could do the same thing. Feed the data in, and then the recovery piece that isn't done with and there's loads of really clunky widgets for bookings.
Yeah.
I mean, these are pretty awesome, but they still haven't added it. Why is it all backwards?
It's just got legacy tech, right?
Yeah.
Brings us on quite nicely.
People don't mind giving their data now.
Well, do you know, it's funny. One of the things that I've been practicing my keynote today, right? And one of the things I talk about in there is, I think the stats: 82% of Gen Z and millennials are now traveling, versus 15% Gen X and even less baby boomers, something like that. So they're now the people who are the lead travelers. And if you think about just take Gen Z, what happened between 1997 and 2007? iPhones, Blackberries, internet, Facebook, YouTube, all the lot.
This sort of generation.
Like, these guys are used to tech.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, like, we're starting to notice more now, because we're so used to tech being advanced and innovative.
Yeah.
That, well, we get a new iPhone every year, maybe twice a year. We get updates all the time. I was saying to my wife today, like, we've got Tesla. Best car I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because every month it gets better.
Yeah.
Because it gets updated.
Unless they change that, I have one too. Unless they change the whole dashboard for air conditioning, because a freak.
At the bottom, it's horrible at the bottom, isn't it? I cannot work it. It's dangerous.
I pressed the button. I was like, first and ever. Where is everything?
Yeah.
But
it's so
amazing.
But it innovates all the time. And then you go back on hotel websites, you go back on restaurant booking systems and what have you, and it's just clunky.
It's unthought of though, but it's unthought of. Yeah. Why isn't it thought?
Because it functions.
That's because it works.
And it's back to what you were saying earlier, is that experience piece. Why challenge something that works when there's much bigger things to worry about or to procrastinate over and all the rest?
I need more sales. So isn't that the question?
Yeah, exactly.
I need more sales.
But then bring me more sales.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it will.
This week,
take the type form, for example. Yeah, of course it is. But it's funny. I listened to Chris Doe's podcast, The Future. He had this woman on it a while ago now who was talking about Microsoft Clarity and about how being able to go watch how people move on your website.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, I did it on one moment.
It's free.
Yeah, it's freaky.
Very clever.
Because you can see, and she was saying how many times do people hover over certain things, and
or not.
Yeah, or not? Do they miss buttons? Blah blah blah. And then from there, she was like, "Okay, that's how you need to change colours on buttons and bits and pieces."
Well, so there's a tool that we've actually just put in, which I'll share to you later. I forget the name of it. But our tool that we have is a banner at the top of the website.
Yeah.
And it says, "See who else uses Captive."
Yeah.
Of your colleagues. You type in your email address in. Yeah. Pops up to LinkedIn, closes, and it shows you all your contacts who uses us on LinkedIn.
Interesting.
And then you can either email them by clicking on a button and send them a message, or you can click LinkedIn and take them to their profile and say, "Hey, use Captive, is any good?" Isn't that amazing? That is, the mobile version is a little bit clunky, but the desktop version is like a tree. This banner just appears and says, "See who else you know uses Captive Wi-Fi."
But this is the power of how you can advance things, right? This is where the hospitality wonders why we're losing.
Well, think about it. You do it on the hotel website.
Yeah.
Which one of your friends have stayed here, for example? You could probably do that as well.
So much
to do. I think the digital transformation. A friend of mine is in IT tech. His job is digital transformation. He goes into big businesses and regenerates everything. There's so many businesses that just need it. And I think hospitality needs, a lot of brands need digital transformation. Marketing is just one piece of it. But things need to talk to each other. Legacy tech, as you said. People have got legacy pods, legacy booking platforms. There's no smarts to it. It works. How do you get past it? When you go in, you go, "This is amazing. This will work here." I guess you can show reports of other businesses, but do you not find that there's that barrier of why?
Yeah, we come across legacy tech all the time. It's difficult because of the PMS system sitting in the hotel. Yeah. So the minute you want to do something, it's whether it integrates into the front office system to post to bedrooms and stuff like that, And we have very similar conversations around put separate printers in kitchens, like put an order of platform upstairs. Who cares if someone can't pay to the room?
Yeah.
They can pay straight away on the credit card. Like, it's just life now. And I think sometimes in hotels, we forget about life and we forget about what people have become accustomed to.
Yeah.
And therefore, we revert back to what we've always done. Yeah, but room service people, they're going to want to do it to the bedrooms. Well, no, it's just before. You used to have to do it on a PDQ and your food would be going cold and you'd have to go and get your thing and then you'd be in your dressing gown.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Now they're just paid on the phone.
Right.
They don't want to charge them. They're not bothered.
Now,
Paying's paying.
I think the interesting thing with that is that now the Gen Z as well, they want to know what they're doing there and then.
Yeah.
They don't want to be afraid that at the end of the journey, because the traditional hotel. I went to Tenerife this summer, a second time there. I had no idea that I came back. I had no idea. It's a really nice hotel, beautiful hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your first time. I'm sat there like this, and my jaw open. No, we actually came the same time last year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So nice to have you back. Like, this is a group. They've got like 7 or 8 hotels. Yeah. Blew my mind. Like, really, and they've got like an adults only area. They've got Michelin star restaurants in there. Like, it's all. I was just like, mad, isn't it? How are you not? I mean, I'm not a celebrity, right? I'm just, we're just not. I'm not expecting the earth to be moved for me. But everyone should be a celebrity.
Do you know what British Airways don't do? That Emirates do really well. Is exactly that. They have the little cut, and British Airways have it. Like, you have the different colour for what loyalty thing you have. But Emirates always used to recognise you.
Yeah.
Whether you got on the plane, whether you went to the check-in desk, wherever you interacted with them, they always were like, welcome back, thanks for flying.
Yes, because that's their technology popping up. And
I've been on, 4 British Airways in the last probably 4 or 5 weeks. I was in Amsterdam the other day. I didn't get recognised once as a loyalty.
You mean you didn't have a podcast fan like going?
Yeah, exactly. No, but my ticket's all bronze and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
No one ever. And you think about it and you just go, do you know what? In today's world, it's not
hard.
acceptable, is it?
It's not hard, is
It's
it?
not hard. No.
Yeah.
Podcast. We talked about podcasts. Tell us more. Tell us why. And then what are some of the best lessons you've learned from all these guests?
Social tool.
Yeah.
So we thanks to you, I was introduced to digital hospitality, which is an awesome Wednesdays and Fridays, 6 p.m. UK. 6 p.m. UK time. Horrible time. It's like dinner time. But anyway, it was really interesting to listen to everyone on that. And obviously we've spoken before, and I've been on your podcast as well, which was, sorry, this is your podcast. You came on my podcast. I think you were like number 2 of my podcast.
It was. Yeah.
Thank you very much. As you can tell, we're on like an hour now. I like to talk. And like you, I've been doing this for 2 decades. Yeah. How long you've been doing? Probably about the same, to be honest with you. I actually didn't realize how many people I knew. I knew a lot of people. And like in digital hospitality, it's the story. And there are other podcasts out there that do the sales piece, which is tell me about the product and you're here to do this and and so on. But I think one major, even with tech, one major piece that I thought was missing was that story behind what's your route in hospitality, how did you get here? And there's always some, like you've just spoken to Mark McCulloch, which is coming out probably before me, right?
Just before you.
So he's amazing. He's just, we had William Connors on, some of these like nuggets, like he was sent to Korea to install Micros, and they called him Colonel Connors. You can't make this stuff up. No. So just the story itself is, I love listening and hearing to how it all started, and then how tech was created. You know, like we created it. Ours was for a need. I started IT because I was a club promoter, and then I needed a real job, so then back into IT. It's all about that story, and I think you have an amazing story, so you need to talk about it more. But hopefully on your website, which everyone should go visit, will have that information on it, because and even the name of the brand it just blows my mind. So please talk about that more on your site. But it was a story. It was really like I have a we're in my little office doing my stuff. So this roadcaster, I did a referral for 7 rooms, and I wasn't expecting anything for it, and I got this American credit card voucher thing, like what am I going to do with it? So I basically used it for this. And then an EPOS company was like, oh, we owe you some money. I said, I don't want the money. It's all about we've done it already, sorry. I'm like, whatever. And then I bought some mics. So I bought the Rode mics to plug into this. I already had a GoPro because for home and family and stuff. So I just bought bits and bobs and like the lights and stuff. So and I benefited because I have this area here.
Yeah.
So no, that I can't do anything in 12 and 2 because they go crazy.
Yeah.
They're having lumps. So no podcasts. But it was very much about the story and like you make people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It's just a chat.
Yeah.
It's nothing too stressful.
Yeah.
And especially when people come here and they sit, they're very much relaxed. So I've done a couple of people, like newbies that haven't done podcasts before. There's a guy that came in previously who's like, he said in the podcast, he goes, I need to get over that cringe factor. We're British.
Oh, yeah.
So the piece of talking to the camera, which I generally really didn't like doing. I don't mind doing that, and I'm over it. I'll go whip up the iPhone and just do a chat. I don't care.
Yeah.
But the benefit, like you and me having a podcast, is you can just regurgitate that content rather than actually talking to the camera. So the story piece was really interesting. I love hearing all the different stories that are possible. I love hearing how stuff was built out of necessity.
Yeah.
Like you, for example, you used to work in you left that group. You then worked for a group. They grew, they expanded. You're like, that size done for me now. I'm going to go back to my roots.
Yeah.
And it was a necessity, right? Yeah. What do? I'm going to create a brand. I'm going to do this. And it makes me smile.
Yeah.
So I think for us, the Captive Conversations podcast, obviously from the name, we created it just to tell the story.
Yeah.
And I'm not really doing it for any other reason. It's not sponsored by X or sponsored by Y. I don't care about bringing people in. I've got some awesome people coming up soon as well, and new ones coming out. So Sean's coming out on Friday, which would be cool. And unfortunately, I hid my video because I'm an idiot on Zoom. That's why I like this. I'm like, if you come here, I'm not going to get it wrong.
You know what you do, right?
If I'm online, it just doesn't work. Also, the quality on Zoom is a bit shit. Anyway, I've got him coming out. I've got Jem from Honest Burgers coming out afterwards. I've got we've just done Dan from Tip Jar, which was freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's on my downloads. He's talking about Trunk, right?
Trunk and how it was created. His history is awesome because he's silver service as well.
Yeah.
Like you.
Yeah.
So it was like amazing. I'm just smiling my face off listening to this story, and it was just. I mean, I love it. So it was a push on digital hospitality of like do content, share content, let's share content with the world. And I'm like you, sharing stories from people that would never know. You wouldn't know that Dan Walkie did silver service. You wouldn't know that he was at Guest Line and then at Trail, and going through and also he said, like, I think the same to you actually, really interesting. He had a guy in the hotel who took him under his wing. I think you had the same.
Yeah.
And I love hearing that because you learn from your route in.
Yeah.
So when people meet you and they listen to the podcast and they're like, "Oh, hold on, I know about you," which is quite nice.
Yeah.
And everyone's very like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about myself," but they should, right? They should talk about themselves. They should talk about the story. So Mo from Pre-Shift that came in, he said, I'm cringe. He's now doing content on LinkedIn. Yeah. He sat the iPhone down and he's like, and he's got this very calming voice, not like me. And he goes, appreciate we do this. And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Do more. Let us know more.
We should do more in the UK, shouldn't we? Because when we're sitting on digital hospitality, and there's all the guys from the US there, and they get it.
Yeah.
Whereas here we just saw.
I said to her, the problem is everyone's like, we work with those of QSRs and others, and I try and speak to them, saying, let's go have a chat. I'll come to you, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah. And they get so busy. But you're right. We need to go, even snippets. So I was with Lawrence from Piggy the other day. He's doing some work with the brand. And he literally, he did a little video. He went there. He did a video on the outside. He went in, he sat down. I held the video while he was recording, like 9 takes. It's hilarious. And then he then left it. He sent it to the client. With this is what I've had. This is the food. We're excited, and he sent that video to the customer.
Brilliant.
Who else does that? No one does that.
No.
So that was nice. But you're right. There needs to be, unfortunately, I think Lightsman are probably doing the most with being present and they're doing a podcast now, which is great with Titans. I wish there were more people doing it. I wish there were more content out there. I think as we don't like to talk with Brits, we're different. We've been converted by digital hospitality.
No, it's true though. But just think about all the things that you learn as well when you listen to these people. That's the bit that I love from it. It's just you just don't know. I always think get the ones that you like, get the ones that add value, and listen to the first part of everyone.
Yeah.
and then see, you're not going to connect to everyone.
I forget about the conversation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm listening to Tip Jar on the way to work this week, and I was like, oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I do that.
Like I was like that. I mean, just little snippets of like, they're doing, they're in like 20 states in America as well. They're doing a Tip Jar card, so that you can go to Domino's Pizza, use your Tip Jar card, and get 20% off.
Amazing.
Included in the no more per book stuff. If you use that card, and then you can leave the money on the card for the rainy day. So that box of cash that my kid now is ahead. She's a training hairdresser.
Yeah.
She has the cash. She has the box of cash.
Yeah.
And there's no one in the bank, but she had the box of cash. With all the tips and everything else, and really excited with it. And I speak to other people in hospitality who are like, I remember the days of that pickle jar with everything stuffed in it, and that was my just in case. So I'm glad that they're doing it. But I was listening to that, I completely forgot about what he said in that conversation.
Yeah.
So
I love listening back to them.
Yeah.
Because you don't, even though you listen quite a bit, and you know what I really enjoyed, or what I enjoy about podcasts is for an hour, you turn your phone over, you put it away, you turn all your notifications off because you're having a conversation, and actually you just go back to what hospitality was, which is like connecting with people, right? And you're just talking, and this is why I don't send questions, even though you asked me to.
Yeah.
It's because it's just like, when I do send them, I always just
go by the night.
I always just put at the end of it, I'm honestly not bothered if we don't ask any of these questions.
Same with me. I practically do the same question all the time.
Yeah.
What was your routine? This is just a guideline.
Yeah.
Because it will.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
And that's the thing, is you think authenticity.
I think the worst piece I had, the most challenging one I've had is when someone comes on and they want to just sell their products.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come to it. I promise you, we'll deep dive into everything. And then it keeps going back to it.
Yeah.
So I just want to know where it came from.
Yeah.
You know, and then it turns out that they went to America to travel and all this sort of stuff, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Do you know, it's funny, we've just done some stuff with Richard Liverman, as you know, like on the brand and giving it a bit.
I love what he's done with you.
2.5 years, and one of the things that we did was we basically did about 4 sessions where there was me, Mango, Bal, I think we were all on Zoom with Richard.
Yeah.
And he was like asking us questions, right? And I'm gonna do the first question because it's funny. So he said, "Why did you set up Auden?"
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I literally was like, "I didn't want to work with dickheads," and he's like, you could see in his face, he was like, "How am I gonna spin this? How am I gonna spin this?" And but anyway,
how did he spin it?
I don't think he did. He just wrote in the document, didn't want to work with dickheads. But the other one that we did was, and it was Bal who said, you know Bal, and he was Bal who said it, and we just put the human in hospitality.
Oh.
And when I sit with people on like podcasts or you talk to people, you just think, do you know what? Like, especially around hospitality tech, what I love about Captive conversations is like a lot of the time with tech, you meet these guys and they're so focused on getting stuff over the line that actually it's quite nice to hear the other side of it.
It's about your story.
Like those little bits where you just go, actually, they're not salespeople.
Yeah.
There's something in it. And
it's awesome when you get founder as well, which is nice. So we had Dan Brookman in there a while ago.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's a freaking like genius professional. My stuff breaking everywhere. That camera broke. Mic stopped. He just carried on. Yeah. Carried on, and nothing was happening. Like he's true professional. His story is freaking awesome. I wish I could read it earlier, but it's coming out, and I loved it. I love it. I'm trying to get a client at the moment who started just a tiny little food store in Broadgate, Serbia, called Yoke, and he's doing some crowdfunding at the moment, and over Sunday, which is amazing. And I'm just desperate to get him on because there's just some people that I've worked with for ages. Yeah. Hence why I wanted to get you on. We've worked with it for ages. I should get Bal on actually. That should get Bal on. He would be. Some of the stuff that I've heard him say over the years is hilarious.
He's got some brilliant stuff.
Yeah, he's got some good. So I think that's a good one. But you're right.
Some brilliant stuff.
I'm not doing it to sell stuff. It's nice that the brand is here, great. I put the sticker up, great. I might get a bit of exposure. There's more content out there, and as digital hospitality, they all say it's just about the storytelling. And I think I'm like you. I'm now doing 3 things. And my friends are like, why the hell are you doing a podcast? Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And my kids are like, why the fuck are you on TikTok? Because I'm Adam the Wi-Fi guy on TikTok. It is so funny. And then my kid's friends at dance, who's 14, she's like, hi, Adam, so you're on TikTok. No one even talking about it. I liked it. I was like, thanks. So I'm on TikTok, Adam the Wi-Fi guy. We're on Instagram as well, Captain the Wi-Fi, which is an area I need to fix those thumbnails, but it is hilarious. I don't get I don't get much traction on TikTok on there, and it's nice to publish it. I don't use Podbean.
No.
Like you said to use it.
I use Spotify now on your...
Yes, it's good, isn't it?
Because you told me it was free.
Yeah.
And I went straight up and I was like, right, bang.
And boom, done. Right, simple.
Yeah.
So
there's another subscription gone. I can get my Whoop now.
you don't connect to Wi-Fi. No, I think I want to try and put it into the website. I think you've done a nice job of actually putting it into the site.
Yeah, we've embedded it. Because I think it's important because we you know what I've done as well is I use it as a way to help clients.
Yeah.
So you'll be like, I don't know, say we talk to Mark, right? And he drops a nugget.
Yeah.
And you'll just be like, and they'll speak to you about a problem, and you're like, actually, listen to that.
Yeah.
Instead, like we've started doing them on a Friday now, where we just pick a subject.
Yeah.
And we just talk like for 10 minutes.
So
and then if someone's like,
I've seen Bao chatting.
Yeah, me and Bao chatting.
I love it. I don't have a partner in crime
because we have a laugh.
Yeah.
But then it's neat. So I love it. I was with CEO of Dog Collection the other week. We were having lunch. And we were talking about.
Tell them to put customer Wi-Fi into one in that and up down Oxford Street because their restaurant
back.
their interest. Their restaurant is the one that's just by Arcade.
Yeah,
down there, and it's beautiful. I went there the other day for dinner. Unbelievable food, unbelievable service. I didn't know bloody existed. They've got. You see the bar there?
No, it's stunning, isn't it? No,
I had no idea it existed. I didn't know it was a hotel.
Yeah,
next level. And the waitress was like, "Yeah, everyone keeps telling me that they've never been here before."
Yeah, it's stunning. And she was going on about something, and I was like, we started talking about coloured scoops and measures and stuff. It was the most ridiculous way that this conversation went. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll send you a link to the. We've done a podcast episode on it. They'll explain it far better than I am to you now because Bal's the expert on it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And I send it afterwards. And I just think it's. I
love that.
It's just a nice way.
You should cut the snippets as well, like into Opus, whatever. And then on your website, you can. If someone was asked about X or even content you've done,
you
can just send them in that search. Look up F&B, look up the loyalty, look up Wi-Fi. That'd be cool.
Tag it. That would be cool.
How about do something sooner?
Because you get so much information from all of this that you just like one of the reasons I did it as well was just like I wanted to help people.
Yeah, but hold on, come on. You're freaking not just that. Like man, you've like smashed it out of the park. I mean, you're going to America to fucking talk. I mean, you like they're asking you like it's not just you're not paying someone 10 grand to stand on a stage.
No, I'm too tight.
Exactly. But I have to give you props. I mean, I think you were like in the freaking leaderboard. You've been in front of magazines. I mean, to be fair, I'm not that looking type. You're always dapper, so you're definitely better in front of in magazines than I am. But I from what you've done, but also the message that you give is very now. It always very, very now, and what I think will always be.
Yeah.
There's going to always be for the next 50 years that challenge of the link why F&B isn't good, and also you have you have a team now, which is great.
Yeah.
And you have Bao in the team as well, and then you're able to do that content as that content on LinkedIn, be present. I can just about freaking post the Opus clips, let alone today I was running around to 4 meetings and all the rest of stuff. It's just me, and I said, my friends are like, why are you doing this? Like, you're like ragged, and I'll be fine. But I give you props to, because what you've done is not only you've realised and taken the note from digital hospitality, but you've gone right, this is the method to the madness. This is what we need to do to post to be present. This is what we need to ask questions. Then you've got your team also responding and trying to build that connectivity piece of let's put comments in, let's ask questions. And I think one really nice thing what you do compared to everyone else who's posting on LinkedIn, wherever it might be, you ask questions. And then there's the base from there. And it's really interesting to see other people just out of nowhere will pop in and go, I've seen like a trail in your LinkedIn conversation. There's like 30 people having a conversation. And LinkedIn love it anyway. But I think that's something that I'd like to aspire to when I get a PA or a team member to do on the podcast staff. I think that's something that's really amazing what you've done. You've not only built the brand and talking about the name or the other way, but there's a road around the corner from you called Auden Close. There you go.
But you know what's funny is after Sean's thing of the orange tree, we did a new brand profile the other day, and
Is it a tree?
remember in Chestnut we had an orange tree.
Yeah.
at the back? We put a picture of that next to the story.
Oh, I love that.
In the thing. So anyone who's listened to the podcast will get what it means.
Yeah,
Anyone
yeah.
who hasn't will think, why is there an orange tree in this deck? That's really random.
But you put it.
I put it in the deck, you know, like the brand profile.
Yeah.
Which I don't really like for various reasons. I just think they're dated, but people have been asking for them, like hotels, old school, and everything.
Yeah.
So we got the picture of the orange tree from Chestnut, and then put it in the thing, and then the star is next to it.
That story is awesome. To be fair, your podcast is pretty awesome with this, Sean. I like what you did. I think I've listened to it twice.
I'm looking forward to seeing that one with you.
Yeah,
and
let's
then
cover-
but next week in Cali Barbecue, I can't wait for that.
I'm jealous that you're going. So
Yeah.
my kids keep saying to me, I'm like, oh, I've got 2 clients signed up in Miami. And she's like, where are we going?
Yeah.
I was like, we got another client in Canada, in Toronto. Are we going? When are we going? I'm like, maybe 50 clients? Like, 100, that would be great. It's slowly over there, And then I'm like, I've got a client in Zanzibar. And she's like, where's that?
And I was like, you want to go? She's like, no, I don't know where it is. Like,
Yeah.
And so on. But it's cool. Like,
That's the broken education system right there. I know where I'd read
But wait, yeah, I think Toronto. So it's really interesting. She keeps saying to me whenever I tell her, we've just done 5 clients in the US. She's like, it's not enough, isn't it? She goes, can I come with? I'm like, no. And so
Did you get that through HMRC?
I her employee, right? She's a part. She's my PA. So, but I think it's interesting when you go to the US. It'd be really interesting to on that conversation piece when they talk about it, or if you ask them about it, because data is really important. And as everyone knows, or I think you're probably the same, Australia's ahead of us.
Yeah.
In tech and in everything and adoption. I think Dubai and the UAE is a little bit ahead of us as well. When in the Middle East, especially in Dubai, the adoption is super fast.
Mm-hmm.
They are on it. We have people signing up and off they go.
Yeah.
We had people signing in Dubai first, and then they have got 5 restaurants in Mayfair here. Dubai did it in 3 days, and we're just finishing Mayfair, 5 restaurants in Mayfair here, and she pushed it out from Dubai to here, which I found really interesting. And I think we're ahead. I think the US is still catching up. Cost-wise, like toast and everything else, it's all out there. But there's still, not everyone's chip and pin. There's still swipe. There's still all these missing pieces.
Yeah.
So I hope that in the next year, things will change.
Yeah.
People will realise that there is a need for better data. There is a need for granular data, more information, more data capture. I'm hoping that there'll be a light bulb moment. Do you know what I
Well, maybe I was telling you, right? The thing that I'm worried about the most is whether I can fill the hour. So maybe when I said to you earlier that I'd do a poll while we're in it, maybe I'd do the poll. We're going to record them.
That'd be interesting. They'll
So
be
I
like,
can
who
put
are
them
you
out.
just customer wide? They're like, what's that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was this crazy where it stood on stage.
Shall I give you some stats?
Like, go back.
I'll give you a stats of a restaurant group, a 45 restaurant group across there, and I'll give you some stats.
Yeah, because one of them in there is about tagging and CRM and segment and stuff. And
Because
we're going to record it.
Yeah.
So we can get it out on podcast. So you'll hear it. But yeah, that'd be awesome. We can do that because I think it's a really interesting point. And still, even in this country, I don't think people do it enough.
No.
There's just so much.
I don't know if you're going to be doing some events and stuff soon. I think that the thing that I am not upset about, but little challenge is why all these really cool events going on, and there's a cameraman filming people, but they don't put it on a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, it's a digital alternative now on the podcast, which is a great idea. I actually spoke to the marketing group on the WhatsApp, the UK one, and I said, would you be interested in doing LinkedIn Live for 20 minutes on a Monday? Like, just on a Monday morning, whatever. And they're all like, yeah. So I would look at doing something for Auden, for your industry, for your side, and marketers, put it out there, and just don't have it anyone selling. Obviously, just do what they do anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
But I asked, and I did a poll on the group, and I think 40 people was like, I'll join. Now, you don't have to come on stage and talk, but the 3 people who are experts are going to talk about this is what's happening, this is what's happening in the industry, and then anyone who wants to talk about it, talk. Yeah. Because there's lots of people who ask questions and they're not sure. So I want to. That's another thing I want to try. You should do that.
Yeah.
On the community, and also have an Auden LinkedIn Live. I think that will, because then people can dip in and out.
Yeah. That's the value, isn't it?
So I think, I know that's more time to do, but I'd like to see you do that. I'll be there, but I think you should definitely do that and get maybe some key clients in.
Yeah.
That might want to, and then other people will just join.
Yeah, just join. The other thing as well that I think from it is it's that whole thing around just exactly what you said, is just getting the content. So like, it was Sean who said it to me, and when we were talking about the shows and stuff, and he's like, "Are you recording it?" And I was like, "I'd never even thought about it really." And he's like, "You should be recording it, just get it out there. Like, what difference?" So I've got these anyway. We've got the little lapel mics. We're going to be rocking it out. We're going to do it. We're going to try and get some video. But if not, it'll just go out on audio on the thing. But I did it at the AHC the other week, 15 minutes. So
we did an event with Tissel in Aqua, and I said that, and they were like, "Oh, we're doing it with Aqua," and I worked with Aqua already, and I was like, "Great, are you filming it?" And they're like, and I like Tissel, they're good guys. I've known them for years, and they were like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Well," I said, "What are you doing with like AV and stuff?" And they're like, so I introduced with my AV guy. He basically got them a big screen. I felt like they did nothing. Got his screen. His little logo was on there. It was great. Got a thank you. And I said, "Can I record it?" And they were like, "Okay, if you want to." So I got one camera here, one camera there, and the AV guy plugged it into my Rodecaster, and I recorded the whole thing. And it was really nice. People could just dip in and listen to. I then gave them the mic. Hold on, I went. Go talk to the interviewees like that. They all freaked out, marketing team. "Oh, I can't talk to people. Oh, I'm British, we don't do this." And I was like, "Go and talk to the panels now."
Yeah.
And they're all flipping and flapping to the mic. And I went up to speak to them, and they just posted on LinkedIn today, one with El Pastor.
Yeah.
And in that interview, Izzy said, who's El Pastor, that Tissel Insta was magical. They didn't post that bit, but it was interesting. They posted a little snippet, and because I know the tech, it was me I know how it works, I know the technology, I know the challenges of installs and everything else. So we had a really good banter, and I was like, that was quite a nice video. So I pushed them to release it, because it took them it's been 3 weeks since it's been done. Yeah. But those sort of nuggets are great, and I wish more people would do it. I was at an event this week in Curve for Hospitality Titans, really great panel, but they weren't recording.
Yeah.
So this thing for me is not everyone has time to go to these events.
No, exactly.
Right? You might see snippets of X, Y, and Z and a nice production video of X. But as what Sean said, record that information. Anything you do, if you're up on stage and talking about anything, just record it and then repurpose it. I mean, I love that the LinkedIn is now on the podcast.
Yeah.
I can just about get there at the moment.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's so true. And that's it. I think that's a great message to finish with, is just more people in hospitality just need to post stories, right?
They need to get over the cringe factor.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think if we can help them, great. I think we need to help them.
Yeah,
I think we maybe need to, as you said, if I get more time to do it, to take the kit to this stuff, my other one, which is this one, which is the DJI one, how noise cancelling, and I use that at the show. I'd like to talk to more tech people. I'd like to talk to more restaurants. I want to talk to more customers. I've actually got a client that's not even ours, a big restaurant chain coming in, and she's director of marketing, because I searched on LinkedIn because I love the brand. I said, "Your office is down the road from me. It's literally 30 seconds. Meet for coffee and have a podcast." She's like, "Oh," and it's going to be really interesting. Been there for 4.5 years. And I'm so excited to hear her story but also activations and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And how the brand's changed and evolved. Yeah. So I don't care about having clients, but I think you're right. I think we both should actually speak to clients, go out and have a chat with them. And it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Those little posts. Because you're already doing the 15-minute thing. And I think that's doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? All right. Now,
so I do the cheers. I do the...
There you go. The cheers. We did get the funky music at the start.
You can do that if you want. There you go.
Stop.
Hold on. There you go. We have use it.
For people who might not have caught some of the websites and things like that while we're talking, over to you.
I now own it. CaptiveWiFi.com. I bought the .com.
Yes.
CaptiveWiFi.com, tableready.io, and supportwiz.net was the IT side, but that's a bit of a niche in the sector. But CaptiveWiFi.com, we don't charge. There's no contract. You can sign up in seconds, and we guide you through that whole journey. TableReady is an alpha, so you can pre-register now. if you're interested in looking more into it, and I'll show you more when I get there. I think the focus is on building stuff and data enrichment, and I think that's I just want more people to have data. Yeah, and that's the whole piece of both those products. Yeah. So, but that's it. So I give another round of applause. I'm going to give you a round of applause.
Okay.
There you go. And then.
There we go. Adam, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. It's been fun as always.
It has. We might need to cut this down a little bit, but I will send it to you.
No, let's just put it on. If people get to the end, then right?
Yeah, my website might be shown at the end. All right. Thank you very much. I'll see you later.
You've been listening to Hospitality Huddles, brought to you by Auden Hospitality. If you want to see how we can help you think differently for your next F&B project, then learn more by visiting our website at audenhospitality.com. If you want to revisit clips from this or previous episodes, make sure you visit our YouTube channel at Auden Hospitality. Thank you for listening to the show, and see you next time.